Imagine stumbling upon a secret so profound it could shatter everything we think we know about humanity's past. What if, buried under the sands of time, lay proof that our ancestors weren't alone, that beings from ancient myths weren't just stories, but real entities who shaped our world? Stick around, because what you're about to hear isn't just a tale of discovery. It's a journey that might change how you see yourself. We'll dive into the who, what, when, where, why, and how of this mind-bending find, unraveling layers that build to a revelation you won't see coming. Let's start with the heart of the mystery, the hidden tomb that defied the ages. Picture this. Back in the year 2000, a group of determined archaeologists, headed by a German expert named Dr. Jörg Fastbender, ventured into a forbidden stretch of southern Iraq. Why there? Because this wasn't just any desert. It was near the crumbling ruins of Uruk, a city so ancient it birthed writing, grand buildings, and the first hints of organized society. For weeks, under the blistering sun and watchful eyes of local guards, they dug through endless sand. What did they uncover? A massive stone structure, sealed tight and forgotten for millennia. The entrance, blocked by a heavy granite slab etched with bizarre symbols, some like early Sumerian cuneiform, others utterly alien, defying translation by the pros on site. Curious yet? Hold on, because stepping inside that chamber was like entering a time capsule. The air hung still and dry, as if the tomb had been engineered to outlast empires. At its center, a gigantic humanoid skeleton sprawled on a carved platform, towering over 12 feet long. Who could this have been? The bones were unnaturally dense, limbs stretched in proportions no human fossil record matches. And the skull. Oh, that skull. Massive, with a bulging forehead, ridged crown, and oversized eye sockets that screamed otherworldly. How had it stayed so pristine? No decay, no fossilization, just perfect preservation, as if hidden on purpose. The walls, lined with inscriptions blending Sumerian script and unknown glyphs, repeating motifs from old Mesopotamian lore about sky gods called the Anunnaki. These weren't random doodles. They hinted at beings who descended from above and mingled with early humans. The team? Stunned, silent. They'd expected pottery fragments or dusty tablets, not this colossal enigma staring back, but they couldn't just leave it there. Under wraps, they extracted the skeleton and whisked it to a secure European lab for deep analysis. What came next? Results that didn't just puzzle scientists, they terrified them. Why terrifying? Because the DNA wasn't from anything earthly. Fast forward to the lab. Top geneticists, biologists, anthropologists and historians huddled over samples from bones that looked fresh despite eons underground. How was that possible? No typical rot or breakdown. Something in the tomb or the body itself had cheated time. Extracting DNA started routine, revealing bits matching ancient Mesopotamian humans. But then the bombshell. Vast chunks of the genetic code, unmatched to any species, alive or extinct, not mutations, not rarities, entirely foreign. One lead researcher froze, whispering, "This is terrifying." He meant it. The sequences formed repeating patterns, more like deliberate code than random evolution. Stranger still, hints of a triple helix structure, a theoretical twist on the usual double helix never seen in nature. Digging deeper, the team saw organization that screamed designed. The bases, ATCG, looped in precise rhythms, echoing ancient Sumerian math systems. Why would DNA mimic math from a civilization long gone? Leaks to private circles sparked chaos. Reviewers spotted patterns mirroring symbols on Sumerian tablets, those tied to the Anunnaki, the heavenly rulers. The skeleton's freakish size, alien skull, and non-human traits, all pointing to one mythic figure, the Sky King Anu, patriarch of the Anunnaki. But who exactly lay in that tomb? The clues: location near Uruk, flawless preservation, engineered DNA, kept circling back to a name from the dawn of history. Gilgamesh. Ever heard of him? He's no fairy tale. Ancient king lists and temple carvings peg him as Uruk's ruler around 2700 BCE. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest story we have, calls him 2/3 divine, 1/3 human. Scholars dismissed it as poetry, but what if it's literal? What if his divine side meant Anunnaki genes? Why suspect Gilgamesh? The tomb's setup screamed royal, with symbols linking to Anu, who supposedly bestowed kingship on mortals. The DNA, about 1/3, showed artificial tweaks, patterns syncing with Anunnaki lore in Sumerian texts. Suddenly, his legendary strength, giant stature, and immortality quest feel real. If this is him, it's not just validating a king, it's proving a hybrid bloodline from stars to soil. But a hybrid of what? That question pulls us into darker waters. The Nephilim. Shift gears to ancient Hebrew texts like Genesis, where the Nephilim loom as giants, towering brutal hybrids from sons of God mating with human women. Who were these sons? Why the chaos? The Bible blames them for flooding the earth with violence, triggering the Great Flood as a cosmic reset. Not just punishment, a purge of tainted lines. Debated for ages, metaphor or memory, but giants echo worldwide. Greek gigantes battling gods, Norse frost giants, Mesoamerican colossi, African sky warriors. A shared global whisper. Now connect the dots. Our Iraqi skeleton size, odd bones, alien DNA, spot-on Nephilim match, and Gilgamesh as 2/3 divine. He fits the hybrid bill if Anunnaki were those sons of God. Why does this matter? It flips myths to facts, suggesting intervention over evolution. Who had the power to tweak human genes? Back to the Anunnaki. Who were they really? Sumerian? Babylonian? Akkadian texts paint them as gods dropping from the skies, gifting writing, agriculture, laws, kingship. Not abstract forces, tangible rulers with ranks and agendas. Those who from heaven came, metaphor or landing log. Fringe theories say visitors, not deities. Their essence mixed with clay to make humans. Sounds like DNA splicing. Troubling? Absolutely, especially with our discovery's foreign sequences as potential proof. But is this isolated? Hardly. Giants' footprints span the globe. In 1520, Magellan's crew in Patagonia met natives twice their height, tales echoed by Drake and others. 1800s America. Digs in Wisconsin. 1877, 7 to 9 foot skeletons. West Virginia. 1883, 8-footers with artifacts. Ohio, Tennessee. Smithsonian notes exist, though dismissed. 1911. Nevada. Lovelock Caves, massive bones and sandals matching Paiute legends of red-haired cannibal giants. 1920s California. Ralph Glidden's 3,000-plus skeletons, 7 to 9 feet tall, backed by photos. 1964. Ecuador. Father Vaca's 10-foot fragments, now vanished, but documented. 1974. Italy. Monte Prama's 7 to 8.5-foot statues over a necropolis. Stylized or real models. 2016 China. Neolithic 6'2+ skeletons. Outliers for the era. One-off anomalies or a pattern? Modern DNA tech is rekindling interest, probing Anunnaki links. Why now? Less dogma, better tools. But if giants walked Earth, where'd they go? Legends say downfall. Biblical flood erases Nephilim. Greek gods crush gigantes. Parallels everywhere. Faded via breeding or hunted down. Theories abound. Threats eliminated. Evidence buried. Today, that Iraqi DNA, under watch by agencies, militaries, faiths. Why? If extraterrestrial, it upends biology, religion, history. Are we evolved accidents or engineered creations? The tomb holds clues that could rewrite our story. But are we ready? What secrets might surface next? Could more tombs await? Imagine if this proves we're not alone in our origins. Ponder that as we wrap. Does this thrill or unsettle you? The truth might be closer than we think. What you've just heard is not just a story about an ancient tomb. It is a story about us. If even part of this discovery is true, it doesn't just rewrite one chapter of history, it rewrites the entire book. Are our myths memories? Are our gods ancestors? Are we alone in shaping our destiny? Or have we been guided, altered, and watched for millennia? These questions aren't just for archaeologists, they're for all of humanity. So what do you believe? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. as we continue to uncover the impossible.